Well, it's pretty basic stuff, and we've probably all learned it before, but basically inside your ear is a very thin piece of skin called an eardrum. Now, when your eardrum vibrates, your brain interprets those vibrations as sound. Well, whether it's a tiny speaker, like one in a cell phone, and if you've ever taken one of these apart, you know they are teensy tiny speakers, or even a larger speaker, like this woofer here, they all basically work with the same principle. They take an electrical signal and they translate it back into physical vibrations to create sound waves. All speakers have the same basic elements. They have a diaphragm, they have a form of suspension for the diaphragm, there's a voice coil, and also a magnet. And there's a lot of other different types of speaker designs, but this is the same basic principle that's been around since the late 1800s when Alexander Graham Bell patented the first loudspeaker. Well, today we're going to take an ordinary styrofoam plate and turn it into a pretty decent sounding speaker on this week's Weekend Project. The Styrofoam Plate Speaker project by Jose Pino can be found in Make Volume 12, page 131. Now, here's what you need. First off, a basic styrofoam plate. And you also need a sheet of regular bond paper, a couple of business cards, and some magnet wire. I used 30-gauge enameled wire. Also, some ordinary Scotch tape, a flat piece of cardboard that needs to be larger than the styrofoam plate. No project is complete without a hot glue gun, and a small neodymium cylinder magnet. The one I used was a 1/2 inch in diameter. The first step is to cut a couple of strips of paper that are wider than your magnet is tall. In my case, I cut 2 3/4 inch by 11 inch strips of paper. Take one strip of paper and wrap it tightly around the neodymium magnet and then secure it with a piece of Scotch tape. Then wrap the second piece of paper around the first and secure it with Scotch tape. Take the magnet out, and then after marking a spot on the center spot of the styrofoam plate, hot glue the tube down. Reinsert the magnet, and then after securing a small piece of your wire to the tube, begin wrapping the tube with wire. I wrapped it 60 times, and after checking it with an ohm meter, measured at 7 ohms. Be sure to tightly secure your coil with Scotch tape when you're done. Now we need to get rid of the enameled ends of those wires so we can make contact, and the easiest way to do this is with a lighter. After removing the magnet, we need to also remove that inside coil of paper, the very first one that we wrapped around the magnet. I found the quickest and easiest way to do that was use a pair of needle nose pliers and just begin twisting. It doesn't matter if you tear the paper because we won't be using it. Now that our coil is complete, we need to build our suspension, and we do that by folding our business card into the shape of a W. Do that for both cards, and then we'll be gluing those in place opposite each other symmetrically on the back of the styrofoam plate. Now we need to bring our magnet back and our piece of cardboard, and we're going to glue the magnet in the very center of the piece of cardboard and then lay our speaker assembly down over the magnet and glue the business cards to the piece of cardboard. This Make Weekend Project is powered by Radio Shack. Visit Radio Shack Invention Lab for more projects and exclusive videos and the chance to win Radio Shack prizes. Our styrofoam plate speaker is built and ready to be tested out, and I've hooked up a couple of jumpers to the wires going to the coil. Now I'm going to hook up a line that I've run to my speaker output on my receiver, and now we're going to play some music and see what happens. Well, it sounds excellent considering it's a styrofoam plate. A cheap and easy project, and it's kind of fun. You can experiment with different size magnets, different amount of windings around the coil for different results. And there's our styrofoam plate speaker. We'll see you next time with another weekend project.